Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss what is the hysteresis loop. Hysteresis loop is the up and down curve of the thixotropic system. If we simply talk about the thixotropic system, here we plot a graph between a shear stress and the rate of shear. So we only obtain a single curve, that is up curve. But the up curve represents the system that shear has been applied, and then the system will behave like this. For example, if in case of mayonnaise, if we are applying shear stress, then it will convert into a sol form. But we don't take an account of its conversion from solution to its original back position. It means if any formulation convert from gel to sol and then again gel. In thixotropic system, we are talking about its conversion from initial gel to sol. But in the hysteresis loop, we take in account of its conversion from sol to again back its original position, that was gel. So in case of hysteresis loop, two type of curve will be obtained, that are up curve and down curve. In the graph, we have used the up curve and the second is the down curve. It is just an extension of the thixotropic behavior of any substance. So, hysteresis loop, we are going to discuss about the behavior of up and down curve of the thixotropic material of the material which follow the thixotropic behavior. Hysteresis is a measurement of thixotropic breakdown. Thixotropic breakdown means we are talking about all its stages. It's stage number one when it is converting from its original form to its any mid stage, and then its mid stage to its final stage, or we can say its original form. So here we have used a single curve, a hysteresis loop for the pseudoplastic system. We can also use the curve for the other plastic system or dilatant system. This curve represents a graph between shear stress and the rate of shear. Firstly, the line origin from 0. Then the formulation is going to convert any medium stage, and then finally it is going to convert into its final stage. At point 0, any formulation is its original position. That may be unsuitable for the point of stability, or it is not suitable in case of porability, or it is not suitable for the consumer's use. So we have to convert this formulation to its any medium stage. For example, if we are taking a suspension formulation, then in case of suspension, if it is flocculated suspension, then at its original position, when we kept it aside, then it start forming large flocks. These large flocks are not good for the stability purpose of that suspension. So we have to convert this suspension into a sol form when we are taking it from the container. So here it represents the stage from 1 point to point 2. When we have taken out the formulation and we are not going to use this formulation right now, but we want to keep it aside for future use, then we will convert this formulation to from point 2 to from point 3, or at point 3 the formulation will again convert into its original position. Here is the another hysteresis loop for the plastic system. We have to make a graph or we have to plot a graph of simple plastic system initially between the shear stress and then rate of the shear, and that graph will represent the up curve. Then from this point, this graph will move downward, and this represent the downward graph or the down curve. And this whole system now will behave like a plastic system. Now this is a graph or hysteresis loop for the dilatant system. In the same way, we will make a plot between the shear stress and the rate of shear, and we will plot a up curve as we have done in case of dilatant system. Then from this point we will again draw a down curve, and the whole system now will behave like the hysteresis loop for the dilatant system. Now the question arises, the shape of the hysteresis loop depends on which factors? Are there any factors on which the shape of hysteresis loop depends, or the shape of the hysteresis loop remains same? Then the answer is no. The shape of hysteresis loop does not remain same in every situation, but it depends on various factors. It depends on rate of shear, it depends on the time, or there are many other factors. Now we are going to discuss all these factors one by one. First of all, we have to consider a graph which represent the rate of shear and the shear stress of plastic thixotropic system. So in this case, if shear stress is increased from point A to B, then up curve is obtained from A to B, and from at point B, when the shear stress is removed, then a down curve will be obtained, and an hysteresis loop of A, B, E is achieved. But if the time is extended when the system was at point B and the time was increased from a limit of t1, then we will achieve a graph A, B, C and E. And if the time has been extended as t2, then the hysteresis loop will be in the shape of A, B, C, D, E. So from this graph we can simply calculate or consider that shape of the hysteresis loop depends on the rate of shear and for which time the rate of shear has been held at particular position and for how much time. And this is the simple explanation which was used for this graph. When shear stress is increased, rate of shear increases from point A to B and then decreases to point E. A hysteresis loop A, B and E is formed. If sample on application of shear stress is taken to point B and at this point shear stress is kept constant for time t1, then because of increasing time of shear, a new hysteresis loop is formed and that is A, B, C and E. In the same way, if the sample at point B is kept constant for time t2, newly formed hysteresis loop will be A, B, C, D, E. So it is concluded that shape of hysteresis loop of a particular matter depends on rheological property of a sample. Now the next topic is what is bulges. Bulges, substances which can swell in presence of water, give a shape of a bulge. This diagram simply represents the shape of a bulge. Here the graph is plotted between the rate of shear and the shear stress, and there is a down curve and an up curve, and in the up curve there is a some protruded shape, and this shape is the shape of a bulge. For example, concentrated aqueous solution of Bentonite gel in the concentration of 10 to 15% is an example which show bulge. This behavior is due to formation of some specific structure of crystalline plate of bentonite which cause its swelling. This swelled 3D structure is responsible for the bulge in the upper. It means when the bentonite gel has been taken in the concentration of 10 to 15%, then it swells in contact with the particular solvent. And this swelled structure take a crystalline form, and this crystalline form 3D structure, and there is a difference between the particular upcurve to the bulge structure. Now the next topic is what is spores. Spores is seen in parenteral solution. Parenteral means in injection form. For example, procaine penicillin G for injection in 2% carboxymethyl cellulose solution. Spore is formed due to sharp structural breakdown when taken into syringe needle. It means when the solution is taken into the syringe, then it has to be passed through the needle of the syringe. While passing through the needle of the syringe, some structural breakdown happened, and this structural breakdown is responsible for special type of structure in the upcurve, and that is spores. So it has been seen only in case of upcurve, because while taking formulation from the container to the syringe, this happened. So this happened from the initial to the middle stage. So this type of behavior is seen only in case of upcurve. Here is the graph which represent a spore-like structure. Here in the upcurve, a structural breakdown occurs at a sharp point, and this represents the down curve which has the same structural. There has been no modification in this. The next topic is negative thixotropy. Negative thixotropy is just reverse of thixotropy. In case of thixotropy, any formulation convert from gel to sol and then again to gel. And as we said, negative thixotropy is just an reverse of thixotropy. So here the formulation is first is in the sol form, and then it convert into gel form, and finally it convert into the sol form. Here gel form is the middle stage and sol form is the initial or the final stage. A graph has been seen here, the up curve, then down curve. In usual cases of thixotropy, we saw the down curve in between x-axis and the y-axis. So the graph is seen, down curve is seen as here. But in case of negative thixotropy, the graph is here. This is the difference between negative thixotropy and simple thixotropy. At rest, system consists of large number of individual particles. When system is exposed to shear stress, frequency of collision also increases, and some type of interparticular bonding is established between particles, which result in formation of flocks. In case of thixotropy, flocks are broken down, but in the case of negative thixotropy, flocks are formed. This is the major difference between the type of formation. Because of formation of bigger size of particle, viscosity also increases. For example, in case of magnesia magma, the example was mayonnaise in case of thixotropy, and the example is magnesia magma in case of negative thixotropy. And this is whole about the formation of bulges and spores. Thanks for visiting this video.